All righty, we're live. We're live with one of my favorite fathers in the inner circle. You know those people that you gist with at the back? Yes. And the baby is here, and he's going to be sharing with us his journey in the inner circle. I love that we're having a father in diaspora share. So it's not just a father here, we're having a father all the way sharing with us, about his journey and all of that. It's interesting to note for some of us who have been saying, oh, my husband is not in the inner circle, my husband does not understand all these things. It's the other way around for, for Mr. Ibiyemi. It's actually the other way around. He's here and his wife is just she's coming in, right? Or she's
Yes,
what?
yes, yes.
He's not going to just start the journey. He's been the one on the journey. But I tell you, he has, done, some amazing stuff. Sometimes he will say, am I really trying? Coach, are you sure I'm really doing this thing well? I'm like, no, no, no. How about let's look at it from this angle. Now you've done this, you've done this. Thank you so much for doing this morning today, sir. But let's start with how you got to know about the intentional parents. I'm interested in that story. All the while we've been gisting, I've never asked. Please, how did you find out about the intentional parent?
Hello, hello. Thank you very much for having me here, Coach Wendy, and hello to everyone that is watching and listening. So, to answer the question, how did I come about, stumble across this fantastic cohort and group? It was on Facebook. And I think it was just somebody had asked a question, something about parenting, and lots of people had been giving their own sort of advice and thoughts and their own experiences. And I think, Coach Wendy, you must have given a response there that I thought, okay, very this is not someone guessing, and that then sent me down a rabbit hole. You know how you start looking at the person's profile to see how does this person know so much, and then I realized that you were running this course. And then I also went on YouTube and I watched a couple of the recorded sessions. And I think for me it is knowing, when you hear something that resonates with you, and that this is again an educated, well thought through response. This is not just this is not just a response of, I think. This is more, okay, somebody has done the research, they've done the work, and they're giving you information that is useful to you. And that's what got me thinking, right, I need to be a part of this.
Amazing, amazing. I haven't even heard this story before, and this is interesting. It's particularly interesting to me. So, yeah, oh, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. If you're watching us, we are live with Ibiyemi Osinaike. Now, Ibiyemi lives in Singapore. Yes. And we
Yes.
have a deal. He's going to be hosting me in Singapore next year. In fact, we've been talking at the backyard about Singapore. Before we started this session, we still talked about that trip. I told him, I said, I'm so coming to Singapore next year. So it's 3 p.m. his time, and he's taking his time out of work to do this. We really appreciate you, sir, and we honor you. So tell us a bit about your journey as a father who struggled through journeying alone, at least in the meantime, until your wife understood the journey and then now started to join you. I think I like this aspect of the journey.
Yes. So I'm fortunate to be a father of two amazing girls, an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. My upbringing was I think I had a fairly good childhood, to be fair. My parents were kind, and they were committed. Obviously, there's a whole generational thing there as well. And I think, for example, I'll give you the heaviness, not heaviness. I think I realized the gap in my own parenting style. And one of the things that came out of that for me was I didn't even want to have any more children. I didn't even want to, because like I felt like even these two, where's the time, where's the energy? The way I describe it is it's not even so much the financial aspect, which obviously is important, but I don't even think I have the emotional capacity or even the space in my heart, is what I used to say, to even start to think about a third or fourth kid. And constantly, I'm sure a lot of parents feel this. You constantly feel as if, am I doing the right thing? Or have I, in fact, broken and destroyed this child, this human being that God has blessed me with? So the gap has always sort of been there. And my wife and I have several conversations about this. Now, the thing about it is, my wife and I are similar in our upbringing as well. We're both last kids. Again, we both come from sort of similar backgrounds in terms of how our religious background or educational background. So I think we were both in the same space. We're very similar in terms of our temperaments as well. So how we relate to children and our focus on maybe things like discipline, or we're very similar in those respects. But which also meant that we're also very similar in terms of our fear as to whether we're doing this correctly or not. The difference is I internalize a lot. So I think whilst we talk about it a lot, I was doing a whole lot more research and reading a lot of things. So that's how come I stumbled across this. Now, how come we're sort of walking this path somewhat separately? I do read a lot of stuff on this, and I have a conversation with my wife, and everything. She goes, "That sounds really good. Let's do it." I'm more of the conceptual person, so I can think up ideas, but I'm not great at finishing it. My wife is excellent at doing things like that, and I think that is where our biggest struggle has been. I would hear great things on tip, and I'll think, "Oh my goodness, we should completely do this. We should revamp this," and she'd be like, "Excellent, yeah, let's do it." And that's why I fall apart. Now, I think it would be much stronger, and I think we recognize this, if we were walking the journey together. And whilst we're coming up with these ideas, she's great at saying, right, and this is how it is going to change in the next 2 or 3 days or weeks or months or whatever. That, I think, is what we're striving towards now. Um, she's not great with mobile phone communications and reading text messages. I like banter, so all our tip banter and all the bass boosts that coach will be giving us on the WhatsApp group, I'll be reading everything, and I'll be reading everybody's response, and we'll be gisting with like only God knows how many people around the world. I'm good with things like that. She's completely overwhelmed with the information and the number of text messages and all of that, so she probably doesn't even have time or the personality to go through all of that. But me, I like gist, so I'll read every single thing, right? So again, that has been, I think, sort of a divergence in the way we take on information as well. So one of the things that I think has been powerful on this journey, even though we're doing it separately, is the fact that we both recognize that there is need for help. She would ask questions about, what are you doing on this, or what have you learned from this, or is it something that you picked from here? She would listen attentively. So it's not as I don't feel like I'm struggling as much as I think other people will struggle if it was the wife trying to pull the husband along, or one partner trying to pull
Yes.
the other partner along. I think we're on the same journey. It's just she's kind of waiting for me to say, okay, so this is what we're going to do. But I think one of the things that we're definitely planning on doing in the future is taking a leaf from what Coach and I had talked about in the back as well. Is, do you know, even if you are doing 10%, so like I said, she feels overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, do you know what? Even if we're doing 10%, even if you don't read, there are 300 messages, even if you all you read is 3 messages, and you apply those 3 messages to our daily interaction with the children and connecting with them, then we are still making more progress, more intentional progress than trial and error. So that's certainly one of the things that we think is going to bring our walk together in the coming year. Is, let's not try to do everything, because that's not going to work. Let's just take the ones that are most striking to us, and let's together work on those. So hopefully that's what the journey is going to be in the future. But hopefully I've been able to sort of explain how it seems like we're kind of on divergent courses, but psychologically and mentally we are in the same place. But it's just she doesn't read the messages and I do.
Some back and forth. Can you hear me? Ibiyemi?
I can hear you. It's cutting a little bit, but I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry, I think I
Yeah.
had a bit of the network. Yes, so I think I picked what you were saying about being, together mentally, being able to understand that, see, we have a problem. It's now how to solve the problem that both of us are now solving differently. And then can we come together and begin to solve this problem the way we should be solving it? And that's why I say that I think it's always better. It's always easier when two people even understand what the problem is. So one person is going to be disadvantaged in one thing, then another person is going to be, advantaged in one thing. And that's why the Bible talks about two chasing a 10,000 anyway. So of course, it now becomes the two of you being able to run. Okay, so I heard you say something. I don't know why Engineer Smart came here and said I give you people buzz. I don't know why the fathers feel like there's one buzz that I give them. I don't know why. So what would be that thing that hits you right in the inner circle?
It's a few things, and I'm going to use the language as it comes to my mind. I don't like it. It's painful to hear sometimes when somebody tells you the truth, and you're like, "Chai, but I didn't come here to learn about myself. I came here to tell me how to fix these children that are my problem." Why is it now me that I'm not? I think that is the important thing. It is the I'll give you an example. And this is not even, this has nothing to do, well, it does. Okay, let me give you the example. So, registering for the end of, I think, the review session, for example, I think there were some registrations and people didn't show up. And coach came and said, look, it is disrespectful. You can't register for the session, you don't show up, and then you didn't tell somebody that you didn't give advance notice that you're going to cancel. And then it ties back to when you said honor as a skill. And that's one of the things that really upsets me with the children. Sometimes it's okay, like my daughter took my sunglasses over the weekend and then she's lost them. I'm like, the fact that you even just come and take my sunglasses and you don't even think, I'm afraid, though, I'm taking the sunglasses and I need to look after them. But then as grown-ups, we do certain things like that as well. Like you book an appointment with someone and then you don't show up or you show up late without apology. Are we role modeling? So I'm saying that to say that these are some of the things that I walk away with thinking, you go and be shouting on your children, you uncle. Get away from the phone. You're constantly on the phone. You're constantly watching television, but you're constantly on your phone too, daddy. As in, I don't get. So how are you? So it's things like that really hit me. Now, my own personality that just it kind of depresses me a little bit. And if anything, I think the way I can describe it is it falls my hand. Some people will feel energized. Some people feel energized about that, and they feel like, oh, that's true. If I can just fix this, then it will fix that. But for me, it actually discourages me a little bit, which is just my own, because then I feel as if I have to fix me first, and I feel as if I'm a bigger problem to fix than the children. It's easier if I say, drop it and go and read your book. But that you to drop your phone and go and read your Connect to Correct. Daddy, have you read all the books that they gave you to read in tape?
Now
You
this
haven't.
is
So why are you now chasing? I think so. But the thing that it then did as well is it made me a lot more empathetic with the children. So if you are struggling to drop your phone and go and read Connect to Correct, which you know is going to have such a huge impact on your relationship and on the lives of your children, then you can understand when all they want to do is watch television as opposed to go and do their homework. So it gives me a lot more empathy as well. So I think that is part of the bass boost I'm talking about. Like you suddenly realize, for me, it did hit me in a sense. And it explained a lot of my anxiety. In fact, there's so much because talking about another example was the when we're dealing with our own childhood trauma. Me, I don't have trauma because I grew up perfect, is what I like to believe. Right? Like what trauma? Please, my parents were amazing. What trauma? But then you go back and think about it. Okay, don't even think about it like something went wrong, although many things probably did go wrong. But certain things that you have learned, certain things that you have picked up in life that are now affecting, the way you do things and the way you interact with your children. So it forces you to look inwards. And I think one of the first things that you said was this parenting journey is not about your children, it's about you. It's fixing yourself. Yeah, so those I think that's the best boost is like uncle, before you go and look at fixing your children, you uncle. Let's just leave it at that. It's like for those of you that understand that expression, before you go and fix your children, you uncle. And I think that's one of the bass boosts or the main bass boosts, I think.
Well done. Thank you so much, Ibiyemi. I remember one of those, I think I had finished a session or something, and then he chatted me and said, Coach, I'm discouraged. I had a laugh. I had a very, very long laugh before responding to him. This guy, Coach, how about now? This is not why I came here. I didn't come so that you come and be hitting on me now.
No.
I came here so you just give me something to run off, and this student will not be fixed.
I think.
And all of a sudden, you're not pointing fingers at me. What did I do to you? Oh my goodness. And many of the times, and as you journey through, I used to be like that, very much so. And I was always like, no, it's the children. You will scream and yell. And and when I started understanding parenting is about you, when I even said it to myself, as in I'll be angry. I'm like, what kind of rubbish? When this person is the one doing that, how can it be me? How is it me when this person didn't take instruction? So how is that me? So you argue about a lot of all those things, and then but I like something that Ibiyemi said. It takes you to a place of empathy. And I think that's one of the biggest things that you pick in the inner circle. You become more empathic. You begin to see that what you are asking your children for, you don't even have it. The want them to give, you don't even have it. People, Nigerian parents especially.
You come again, no?
Yeah.
You come again.
Leave me alone. You're very, we say, we're very disciplined people. But when you really look at it, you pick up a book, you never finish one book, yet you're so disciplined. As in, your discipline is at the top of the roof. Like, really? And that's one thing. The journey just helps you to expose the inadequacies and be able to also see life, differently. But Ibiyemi, I'm going to ask this question. Which of the webinars was the one that hit you the most?
I think I attended not attended, but I listened back to the 5-day one where there was one particular section on sex education, and where was it Coach Femi? In fact, that one, plenty of those ones. There was, I can't remember the name, Coach Ebuka talked about the way he was talking about boys, and I was like, I don't have a son, but this thing, in fact, it's talking about me. And then there was my growing up as a young boy in Nigeria, and then the other one was it Coach Femi that talked about addictions.
Oh, it was Folarami
David, yes. So those two were very, very instructive because I felt, again, it felt targeted to me. Now, I look at my children and I can see my personality traits in them. I have an addictive personality. In fact, and it goes to everything. I can, like screens, for example, is a big issue for me. Right, I can sit down and watch. I don't like football, but if it's on a screen, I'll sit down and watch it. As long as that thing is on a screen, and I've noticed that in my children, for example, and one of the things that he talked about in that session was also things like, you don't deal with drug addiction at the very beginning. You have to think about the behaviors and the structure in the life of the child, being able to say no, being able to identify what good friends are, what bad friends are. The day that he followed that person to that. Why did you pick me to follow you to some random place? And was it at that point you should have said no? So those ones, and to be honest, I think that particular, those 5 days that we covered, I can't remember what they're called. They hit me because that I would listen to them the day after, and I'll listen to them at the gym. And I'll be thinking, I shouldn't be listening to you here because I don't have pen and paper to write. But because I listened to them back to back to back, I think those days hit me a lot. And I'm not sure if it was that time that you talked about the learning styles as well. I think, it was one of those days. It was one of those, was one of the 5 days as well that you talked about learning styles as well. So again, and I'm saying this to say this, I think anything that I listened to impacted me. But I remember those ones because I listened to them day after day after day after day because it was over the 5 days. And I was
Mm,
deliberately going to the gym and listening to them while I was there. Again, a lot of the things talk to me. So I understand now why, I excelled in certain things academically and I didn't excel in certain things academically
mm,
because of the learning styles and even the
mm,
temperament of the teachers as well.
mm,
Um, I'll give you an example. I struggled to read as a kid, and there's a period when my parents were not together. My mom was in a different country or a different part of the world or a different state, and in the 80s, she would pick up the phone and call my father's house where I will speak over the phone, and she would have photocopied some books and we'll be reading them together in the 80s over the phone, where she'll
mm,
talk about diction and pronunciation and pausing and how you use the punctuation to pass across
mm.
your message over the phone. This is what I received. But tell me to sit down with my child to do things the same way, I will struggle. So again, asking myself the question, how did I get here? Thinking about my own experience and realizing that I was struggling with am I still here? Sorry, a
Yes,
call
you are.
came
You
in there.
went blank a bit, but you're back.
Yeah, okay. So, but anyway, so the short answer to your question is that week was particularly impactful for me because I was listening to it back to back to back. But again, I think anything that I've listened to, I don't think there's anything that I've listened to that I've not gone away thinking, yeah, it's true.
Mm,
Um, so one thing that I would definitely say for new people that are joining or for old people is yes, there's a lot of information. There are lots of all these the weekly seminars or the weekly sessions that we have that are recorded. If you take time to listen to anything, just take time to listen to anyone. Pick anyone. Ask God to lead you. Ask your spirit to lead you. Just look at the headings. Listen to anyone. There's none that you walk away thinking, "Oh, I knew that." There's none.
mm,
There's none.
mm. Amazing. Amazing. Ibiyemi, that Ibiyemi says there's no one class you listen to. And then you walk away and just say, you know what? I've been there, done that kind of walk away. You will walk away with, what happened? And that's actually, the amazing thing about what you learn right in the inner circle. Ibiyemi, tell me a bit because I'm going to release you quite, very, soon. I know you need to go back to work. But tell me a bit about working, parenting, fathering the girls. What difference has it made? What has happened to your journey, all right, while you are at it in this past 1 year?
To be honest, there's a lot. There's quite a few things. Like I said, I've learned a lot of things about myself, and I've understood a lot of things about my children as well. Um, so, what are the big things? I did the whole sex education, right? And if you see me now talking to my friends, in fact, I was at a group of guys were talking the other day, and he was talking about taking his son. He's a Malaysian Singaporean, and I was thinking about his son to get circumcised. I was like, oh my goodness, that's age 10, blah blah blah, the whole gist. And then I now asked him, have you started having, the sex conversation with your boys? I mean, this is a really good way to start the conversation if he's going to get circumcised. Um, and he said no. I was like, oh, I'm really finding it awkward. So I sent him my plan. My plan was for the girls, for example.
Mm.
And I sent it to him. And he was like, so how did you have the conversation? See me feeling like G now. I sat down to him. So this is how, so you would talk like,
We are really alone.
so you would like, it's like you with your daughter. I was like, yes, nah. Before, me that before I had the conversation, I had to go and quickly read. I was as if you're about to enter an exam hall. Quickly read one or two lines, close the book, then I'll pretend as if. But for example, that was an important thing for me, and it gave me a lot of confidence to have that conversation with my
Mm,
older daughter. And
mm.
so much that like I said, is then translated into this guy who has no connection to
Yeah.
tip. He's Singaporean, he's Malaysian, he's Muslim, none whatsoever. But I've
Mm,
given him my plan that he can now use.
mm,
So to the extent that my daughter the other day came home and said, "Oh, a boy in their school had been suspended," I was like, "This is quite, a good, relatively." good school, new school. Why? What happened? She said she will find out and let me know. Later, she came back and said, "Oh, somebody told her, but she can't remember." I was like, Annie Leary, there's no way that you can't remember. Tell me. She's like, if I tell you, don't remove it from this school. I was like, no, tell me. And it turns out that the boy was asking for nudes.
Mm.
So first of all, the fact that she even knew what nudes were was shocked me. But of course, I had learned to just don't act as if, hey, put your hand on your
No,
head and start
no,
to
no.
lament. But then we had a whole long conversation about this as well.
Mm.
You know, yeah, she talked about why maybe the boy might have wanted it, how the girl that he asked for, how she reacted, how she handled it, how she would have handled it if she was in that position and all of that. So he allowed that conversation to happen. I don't think without Tip, I would have been able to have that conversation. Now, for me, I personally know it's important to have the conversation. I would love to have I've always wanted to have the conversation, but I didn't know how much detail, I didn't know how to pitch it. You know, even simple things like, oh, don't react too negatively, don't give too much information, or, you know, give age appropriate information, so to speak, right? So all of that were things that I picked from this journey. And even my children know, oh, is this part of your school? Is this part of your parenting school? They would ask that you are going to. This is part of the friend. So there's quite a few things. You know, the other day again, I was saying to my daughter that, look, I understand why I behave like this, and I see that behavior in you. So this is why I'm telling you X, Y, and Z. I struggle with this as well. You know, this is something that I wish I had learned as a child, and I
Mm.
think it would have advanced me X, Y, and Z. So if you're
Mm.
having any issues in this area, you can talk to me about it, because in fact, even now with my game day self, I still experience this issue. So I'm happy to have that conversation with you. And to be
Mm.
honest, this explains my anxiety. This explains why sometimes I raise my voice. It's not an excuse, but it
Mm.
explains why I raise my voice as well, because I'm anxious that you don't fall into the same trap.
Mm. Mm.
Many things. In fact, now I told my children, for example, like if I'm raising my voice, tell me to calm down. I want you to be able to stand up to me and say, can I speak? Can I finish what I'm saying, Dad? Before when they do
Mm.
that thing now, it pains me.
He
But
peppers you.
but you two, why did you interrupt the child? Why did you two interrupt the child? If she says, "Daddy, can I finish?" the thing will be like, this child is rude, but she's not rude because you interrupted her. Actually, really and truly. So you to stop interrupting. You know. And I'm raising girls. I'm raising black girls outside Nigeria. So I do want them to have that strength of character. I do want them to be that confident in themselves, to be able to speak up when it's necessary. So short answer is, it's been a great journey. I don't think, and this is me being completely honest, I don't think I've done 10% of all the things that I could have learned. But there are one or two things that I've learned, either about myself or that I think I've been able to work with the children, or even in my relationship. That one is even a totally different conversation. How I speak to my wife, the kind of patience I now need to have, the kind of ego that I need to sort of, uncle, try and pipe it down. The humility agbada that I have to wear, being a better listener, all of those
Yeah.
things, right? I don't even think I've done 10%.
Mm.
I'm going to round this particular question up by saying, over, I think we had some people over for breakfast. We were staying at home for breakfast last Sunday, I think it was. There's another friend that I sent the daily actions thing to, or the daily connection tools. Another friend that I sent it to, because we'd had some conversations about relationship with our daughters. And he was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me this thing because it was raised." Long story. There's another person at the dinner table or the breakfast table who I had introduced, who is now part of the new year. So she
Oh
joined
wow.
and she's now part of the new year.
Wow.
Something had happened when she came in and we're saying our hellos. Oh, good morning, you're welcome, welcome, welcome. My daughter said something and I responded to her from the other side of the room. She was like, "Is that how you should talk to her tip parents?" I was like, "Chai." So it's great to have people who
Mm.
think the same way, who are on the same course, who can keep you right. I was like, Adesua,
Mm.
please. It's enough that I read this on the. You can't come into my house and come and be connecting me as well now. But I loved it. I genuinely loved it, because
Mm.
it's so good when you're friends with people who are raising their children in with similar values and with similar intentionality. It's great.
Mm.
I'm so happy that the fact that we're family friends and they're friends and our children are friends, because I know how she's raising her own children. Anyway,
Mm.
around the breakfast table, the other dad was like, "Well, I didn't know this was a Nigerian thing." So that thing you've been telling me about is a Nigerian thing. And then suddenly you can see it in their eyes, like, I think they're now starting to question again because it's coming from the continent. But when you did not know, it was good information. Now that you know, you're raising eyebrow. So that is how powerful the information is. That's how powerful the
Mm,
information is.
mm,
And when I go back to the question of, it's a lot of information. Don't worry about it being a lot of information. Again, if you can do your 10%, your 5% self goes a long way. It
mhm.
goes a long way. I would rather be intentional about a small percentage than be doing a scattergun approach across raising my children. My children are far too important. They are far too great. They are far too great, precious, precious beings. I don't want to just wing it completely. So yeah, so hopefully that answers the question. I think sometimes I do get carried away with this particular topic, but yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Who else? BME, the comment section is buzzing. As in, there's this everywhere, and BME could be like that. Sometimes, he's sending a chat and he sends a particular chat, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, if I tell this guy that I'm actually laughing at this question, he's going to say, "Coach, why are you like this?" Sometimes he'll just say, "Coach, I've not even done this one. You're not coming with this one, Coach. I beg. I think I'm going on a leave." I'm like, okay, you cannot go and leave. There's no leave now. And funny enough, this is the first time I'm going to be interacting with the BME on video. All right,
Mm,
I've never seen him
mm,
really.
mm,
So for your information, so that you don't even think that, she knew them, she don't. We actually just chat. There are just
mm.
some, inner circle parents that we just get talking, and we just get talking sometimes outside of parenting, within parenting, and all of that happens at the backyard. And there was something Ibiyemi said about the humility abada. If you've never heard about the humility abada, you're welcome.
Try.
Recently, my daughter did something, and she was telling me, "Mom, no, that's not how it is." I just told myself, you know what? I have gone to bring the factory of abada behind my house. I no longer go to buy. You guys, I have factory. So once a day, I just go and collect. I don't want to be buying. I want to have it at the back. All right. So that's one of the things that, working on the journey. And like BME said, he said he would rather do 1%, 5% of being intentional than do 100% of just winging it. Because even if it's just one thing you're picking, you're running with, you find out, that this actually goes a long way. And, I think I like the part where he talks about where his children are, where connecting with people and having people in his circle also walk the intentional parenting journey with him. So when he does something and then his friend says, what's wrong with you? You have people holding you accountable. You have people telling you, no, this is not it. And your children will know that they also have people that they can
Mm.
go to that will have similar value, that will also give them, those content. It's not every time you are in the right frame of mind, though, to be a parent. But you will realize that if you have accountability, somebody is going to drag you at some point and say, no, 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 no. This is not the way. Oh. This is where you are going. Don't go that way. It's not the way. You need to, put it that. And, I also I tell the parents in the inner circle that I have an inner voice that tells me, Madam, calm down. It's not about being a coach. You need to be a parent. So we all have that voice, that inner voice. You heard Mr. BME say it. He said, Uncle, be coming down.
Mm.
Somewhere. Auntie, calm down. This is not this way. Thank you so much. BME has been sharing with us all the way from Singapore. He's a father raising two amazing, beautiful black girls in Asian country. And I look forward, you're going to see pictures with me and BME next year. I'm going to prepare you guys.
Yes, okay.
That kind of thing. The preparation is hot. You're going to see me at summer in Singapore. All right. And I'm really, 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 grateful for this session. I'm going to, because I promised to BME that he's going to, leave here really in time. I wouldn't want to keep him. He's still at work. And BME, I'm going to share with us what would be what advice you would give to parents, fathers, people in diaspora, whoever that's listening to us.
Yeah. Um, There's another thing that I learned when we talk. Where I can't remember how it was coined, but I started off saying it in the last thing. Our children are, if we think about them as our precious beings. Um, I don't like to use the word raw materials, but just permit me to say they're precious raw materials, and we're leaving a legacy. It's not even a matter of legacy. You called them from heaven, wherever they were, right? They're complete human beings who are going to have years and years of impact on the world, or they have their own sort of minds and spirits and all of that. It is worth putting in the time and the effort, completely worth putting in the time and the effort. I think the name intentional parenting could not be more apt. We can't wing it. You cannot wing it whatsoever. So I think for me, that would be the main thing to say. They are so important. I want to do the work. I want to do the reading. I want to attend the sessions. I want to do the workbooks. I want to try things out. I want to humble myself. I want to listen to other people. I want to be humble enough to have conversations with coach on the side, or read through the testimonials of people that are sharing on the group so I can learn from them, because this is far too important a job for me to get it wrong.
Mm.
That's kind of where my head is at. It is far too important a job for me to get it. Sometimes I look at my children and I'm like, man, this is my real work. It's not
Mm.
this 9 to 5 one. Okay, so we need to do the 9 to 5 one to put to eat Sabi and to have a roof over our
Mm.
heads. But this is far too important. I look at
Mm.
my own life and I look at how well my parents did, in raising us, and I know what the issues could have been if if they'd gone completely unintentional. They were intentional in their own way, and
Mm.
I just know how things could have gone wrong. So I want to do better. I want to do, and if the resource is available, which it is through this course, then I want to take advantage of it. Like I said earlier, my own personality is more. I'm very conceptual in my thinking. I can think up ideas very quickly, but I don't really do the work to see it through. I've joined. I'm repeating grade one on tape.
Say that
In fact,
grade
there's
one.
even no shame. It's true.
No,
There's
no,
no shame. As
no,
in fact,
no,
it's not at all. I didn't even think
no.
twice about it. I will do it again. It's okay.
Mm.
And I'm hoping that next year my 5% will become 10 or 15, because I know how big an impact the 5% has been this year.
Mm.
Um, so I'm happy to take the 15 or 20, and if I'm learning and growing at the pace that I would like to, then maybe it would even be 40-50%. Then I know I'm raising kings, I'm raising queens, I'm raising future industry leaders, I'm raising people who would have a positive impact, who will not leave a negative impact, first of all, and then have, strong positive impact on the world. So to the parents here, let's do the work. Let us do the work. It's a very important job. I want to be great, right?
Mm.
If we have our own little circle of intentionally raised children, you can go
I
and
know,
marry that
right?
intentionally raised
You
child.
know, right?
That
We're getting there.
I think,
We're
because
getting
who
there.
wants, you can't do all this work and then just hand the child over to
I don't
some
know
some
how
some
now.
haphazardly raised child for
I
what?
know for what?
No, 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 for what now? So yeah,
For
so I mean
what?
that would be the dream, wouldn't it? That would be the dream. And even let's think about it even from a nation building perspective.
Yes.
Children who are honest, children who have good moral values, children who understand honor as a skill. That
Mm.
honor as a skill thing.
Mm.
That one is even one thing that I never, so there's some things that you hear like, okay, I understand that. I thought about that, but I never understood it to this level. Honor
Mm.
as a skill, that one, it never even crossed my mind, but it's incredibly powerful.
Mm.
It is incredibly powerful. So yeah, anyway, let me not go into the details there. But yes, that for me is the big thing. They're too important. Let's do the work to get it right. Um, let's do the work to get it right. And the work is being done by Coach and the team here. And I can't thank you guys enough for. In fact, I get jealous of Coach sometimes, though. Not even sometimes, a lot, because I'm like, chai, see person doing original, serious work that is impacting lives. And I'm not saying it because I don't blow smoke up people's behinds. I don't at all. But this one, I'm like, hi, this is real work. Oh. This is real impactful work. I'm going to continue to strengthen you and continue to use a lot of us as good testimonials for the good work that you're doing here. So, yeah.
Amen. Thank you so much. Ibiyemi has been is a father in diaspora who's been in the inner circle for the past 1 year. And Ibiyemi has been sharing his journey on how he's been intentionally raising queens. I love that. And every parent who has walked this journey has said to you, we're not giving our children to anybody. I said it
Mm.
first. Some people got angry. I said, I'm not giving. If you are not intentionally raising your child, I know they do. My children will not pick spouses on the streets. I'm not doing. They think I'm joking. We create communities. We bring them together. They will party, do everything together.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, we are coming there. This thing is not that hard. We are coming there. Thank you so much, BME, for sharing with us. And don't even get it twisted. All these 5% the BME is saying, he leads a group, a subgroup in his group. He does reviews. You need to see him, breaking down books. So all this thing he's saying to you, don't even think that he did the work. He did. They are the fathers. Most of the fathers were in the forefront of this, whole thing. And really, like I often said, I said that fathers in TIP have a mansion in heaven. If you want, argue. If you want, get angry. If you want, say, oh, this coach was even wrong with that. She's the owner of heaven. Me and God, we have agreed. That heaven, these TIP fathers, they have special mansion there. If you are getting angry, you are getting angry for nothing. Like my pastor will say, you are angry for nothing. All right. We've given them special place. Thank you so much, BME. And thank you for that I like to say that in TIP, we don't just sell coaching, we sell relationship. The people that I get to connect with. I tell people I'm a very wealthy person. I have access to everywhere. I want something to Singapore, I won't think it. I just need to just say, please, can you help me call it PM? He needs to just do. He will find a way somehow, and that's the beauty of a community. That's the beauty of being able to connect with people, and that's just the amazing thing about it. Somebody said I should remember the mothers. Mothers like this competition. Once you say fathers, they will just come and say, why is it that mothers are not? Don't worry, you guys are in heaven already. It's okay. It's okay. And this has been an amazing. This journey is not without struggles. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was just going to say something about the community. The community is incredibly powerful. I think because when we share the testimonies or questions or our struggles on those WhatsApp groups, like this, there are some testimonies or somebody will come and say, hey, coach, I have my own small testimony, and they think it's a small testimony, and I read it and I'm so encouraged, so encouraged. And then you hear about people who be like, oh, in fact, I even had to save 6 months to come for this thing. I'm like, people are taking this thing seriously. You now just raise your own children anyhow. Possible now? No, it's not possible. So I think just to encourage the people that are on that group, that if you're sending a message about your testimony and you think I'm just sending it into the WhatsApp sphere, it is encouraging people in ways and in places that you may not know. The camaraderie that we share, we may never meet. In fact, chances are that we probably will never meet, but we are sharing a very, very unique journey, and that I think we're really pulling each other along. So just wanted to raise that about the community of parents. In fact, there's a father who is in Scotland, because I moved from Scotland. There's a father in Scotland who moved to Scotland, and we started chatting there. This is how you meet people, and it's great to see that people are indeed focusing on this journey. So please, let's keep the community alive. I'll stop now.
Thank you so much, BME. BME told you that he likes gist. He's not lying. Sometimes there's one long this thing. I'll say, let's come again. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes you say, did anything really happen? Coach, help me check. Have I even achieved? Did I really achieve anything with this thing? I'll say, go and sit down. What is that? And sometimes, it just goes on like that. For me, the relationships that I share with the parents in the inner circle is my greatest wealth. For me, that's the greatest, the access, the relationship, the people that I've met. The kind of people and these are people who have been doing amazing in different spheres of life. And I do not take it for granted. And my team and I are so grateful for the honor, for the humility. It takes a lot of humility to learn in the inner circle, because I'll give you buzzballs. Yeah. Even me sometimes, I'm feeling you when I'm doing it. But that's how, we actually would learn. And, there's something Ibiyemi said earlier, putting aside the ego, putting aside, everything, being able to actually come down to learn. And that's why my respect for the fathers in the inner circle is above bar. Don't get angry. Again, sorry. I'm sorry. Don't be angry. That's just how it is. I'm going to let Ibiyemi go now because he needs to get back to work. This has been an
Thank you.
amazing conversation, and people laughed through it. You had 110 people watching concurrently at the time. I think this should be about the highest. And people were just laughing through the conversation, like, oh my goodness, who is this? That's how he is. And sometimes even when he's complaining through his failure, he will now be laughing through the failure. And this has been such a rewarding conversation. Thank you so much, sir. And
Thank
God
you for
bless
having
you.
me.
Yes, sir. I
Bless you
love you. I
too.
honor you. Thank you so much. So see you in Singapore next year. They are going to
Yes.
be so jealous.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes. So
All right, so I'm gonna let you go now. Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Yes,
Cheers. Bye
sir.
bye.
All right, bye. Thank you so much. You have been watching my intentional parenting journey with Ibiyemi Osinaike. Ibiyemi is a father in diaspora raising amazing girls. When fathers share their journey, when you just connect, you just see, there's just so much about this conversation. Ibiyemi said, I would rather raise a child intentionally with 5% than wing it. Let's do the work. That was the finishing part of this conversation. Let us do the work. The work is so important. The work is so key. The work is so it's something that we need to start doing. If you want, continue to say, oh, who is this, that woman, that yellow woman that I'm supposed to be learning from, and all of you lose the chance to actually be able to learn, because it's not me. Some of the things I even say is not even me. Like I think it was Dr. Happiness that chatted. When coach is talking to Mrs. Wediologe, me too. I'm listening to the voice of the coach, and I'm also on a journey. All right. So what we share in the season is even in the sessions are even they're not a journey to perfection. It's a journey. That's what the intentional parenting in our circle program is about. Next year we're going to have some in-person sessions, parenting, connecting, and all of that. Because yes, we are not going to finish and we just hand you over the child we have raised intentionally like that. We are every one parent agrees. We put in a lot of work. The work is huge, and we're doing it. All right. If you're listening to me, you can still join the inner circle starting on the 1st of December. The Inner Circle is a program where we bring parents to teach them parenting. There was something Ibiyemi said when he was talking. He said, even the ones you think you know, you finish a webinar, you come out. He said, you can never finish a webinar and come out and say, I knew these things now. What is all these things that they've been teaching us? You will walk out very humble, as in very, very humble with the things you thought you know. I was teaching in a church on Saturday, a Living Faith church in Abuja. And when I finished, one of the deacons had met my husband and said to my husband, I said, I thought I was a parenting guru. When your wife finished, I saw myself, even the ones I thought I knew, was on the floor. I was wondering, who is this person? So this is not just about, me. It's about a system, a structure that helps you to work. A structure that helps you to work. And if you're coming into the inner circle, you're waiting. There are a lot of systems and structures and strictness and accountability and buzzwords. So we are not there. It's not fun fair. I saw a particular group trying to say, oh, where are you from and all of that. We are not doing fun fair. It's not a WhatsApp group. It is an academy. We're using WhatsApp as our learning hub. It's a complete structured academy. It's not a prayer group. It's not somewhere you wake up in the morning and say, good morning, my friends and family. I want to pray that today works out well. If you try it, I throw you out of that. Throw you out of the inner circle program straight. It is a learning hub. And we are there to do what we are called to do. And we're serious. It's a serious work. We're not joking. For those of you who think that, is it just I'm just paying 70,000 naira for a WhatsApp group. It is not a WhatsApp group. It is a system. And when we throw you out, I will throw it out without apology. If you want, I've heard people say, oh, it can be very strict. Oh, the structure in this place is not. If you don't like accountability, you cuckoo will not like the inner circle. But if you can subject yourself and bring yourself down to learn, you will be grateful for your life. You'll be grateful for your life at the end of 1 year. But whether you're going to come there to come and play, no, it's not a playground. It's not where you send streams of joy every morning. No way. You try it, you're out one time. It's not even something that you can negotiate. That's how strict we are. Yes. And you wonder why they call me VC in the inner circle. That's why. So when you're coming, come with, all serious. Don't kid yourself. We're not joking. It's not a joke. It's not a WhatsApp group. So don't come here and say, they said we should pay 70,000 naira for one WhatsApp group. Are you joking? As in, we are doing WhatsApp group. You pay 70,000 naira for WhatsApp group. You're not paying for WhatsApp group. You're paying for a system. You're paying for structures in your parenting journey. You're praying so that we can teach you what to do, the tangibility of parenting. It's not a WhatsApp group. It's not somewhere you come and discuss whatever. In fact, if you bring some things that is not, we yank you off straight up. And I like my team. They don't even think to do it. As in, you make mistake and just do. So I made a mistake. I sent senses of destiny so that people will, no. It's not even allowed. And I'm going to share a lot of the buzzwords at the induction on the first. You're going to start hearing, you hear your first rules and regulations, and you straighten up yourself. You see that discipline you want to teach your children, you will learn it first. Then when you learn it, you will not go back to go and teach the discipline. You see the discipline of being able to stay in a system, stay in a community, and put yourself together, and not just, bring anything and just dump that. No, again, the Inner Circle program is not a WhatsApp group. We don't run WhatsApp group in TIP. We don't own any WhatsApp group. Any WhatsApp group we're using, the WhatsApp community, is for us to have accessibility. Our programs don't even run on WhatsApp. Our programs are all video sessions. They don't run on WhatsApp. So all our programs, all our sessions are video sessions. And then you have the voice notes, all right? They are just a learning hub. If there is a conversation that should go on, it will go on according to the system, according to the curriculum, according to the things that is being talked about. We are that strict. So if you're thinking, I'm saying this now for people who are listening to us and just thinking, this woman is saying that we should just come and pay 70,000 naira just to come and join a WhatsApp group where people will be talking. That's not what this is about. And if you're entering the inner circle, just tell yourself, like Hajia said, when God calls you to change your generation, he puts you in the inner circle. The inner circle is serious game. Serious game. Everybody learns. All right? Everybody learns. We put up a standard. Yes, Sharon. He said our inner circle curriculum is a system that professional institutions need to come and learn, the standards. That's how we run. We're a system. We run a system. We run a structure that is strict. If you do not like it, you might not like being there. If you hate systems, you hate structures, then you're going to be in trouble with me, because I am going to, this is me in my VC club. I'm wearing a shirt. That's how that's how, somebody, Sharon said it's an insult to call Inner Circle a WhatsApp group. We take exception to that. Yes, we do. Don't ever think that the Inner Circle is a WhatsApp group. If you're registering for the academy, no, you will be shocked that the things you learned in school, you are going to relearn them right in the academy. If you're registering in the academy, please note, you are coming there with all seriousness. You're coming there to actually come and think, to actually come and learn from me, from people, the people that I learn from in the Inner Circle. I learn from people every day. I've learned from people in that hub more than anything ever. I'm talking to all the people that, want to register. But I can assure you of one thing. You would never leave the Inner Circle not feeling fulfilled. You will be in the Inner Circle and you would understand, provided you like growth. We're going to force you to grow, literally. We're going to push you to grow. And you grow. Even if it's 5% you do, you will see yourself grow exponentially. And that's what Ibiyemi has shared this morning, how his journey has been. And he said to me when we were, finishing reviews, he said, Coach, I'm ready to even do level 1 for 20 times. It's okay. There's nothing I'm looking for. And then I'll, start going gradually. All right? The Inner Circle is a place to be. if you really want to take your life, because the inner circle is created to give you a life development, not just parenting, because it targets you. If you are going to really, really make something, out of your parenting journey, then you must put all seriousness. We're not joking. We put all seriousness into the system, and I need every single one coming into the inner circle, registering today, to please recognize that we're not running a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp system is just the learning hub. The whole curriculum is not built on WhatsApp. All right. So if you're registering, do that now. And please note, by the 1st of December, we are running. We are running. All right. We take off. Our first induction meeting is going to be on Thursday, where you're going to receive your first bus. And that's the time you will decide whether all this laugh, and all of that. Parents in the inner circle will say, when you see coach outside, you think that she just, I can really hit you really hard to make you think. But the good thing is that it will make you journey. It will make you journey in a better direction. One of the things my team and I are promising you is that you will never leave the academy feeling like, oh, why did I come here? Why did I waste my time? It will never happen. That's one thing that we're sure of. Instead, you will be overwhelmed. You will be like, all these things for me to learn. It's important that you recognize that. Thank you so much for sharing with us, joining with us this morning. We had Ibiyemi Osinaike all the way from Singapore, a father in diaspora, sharing about his journey. His journey has been interesting, amazing. One of the fathers that, I've connected with, and it is, it's been an amazing journey with a lot of these. Omire, I've seen Omire. I met Omire. Omire is an incoming Yada. I met Omire in Lagos. In fact, Omire has been saying inner circle is compulsory. She's the first person I actually heard it from. I'm like, okay, this is this is another one. She says inner circle is compulsory. It's no longer an option. I've said it before that the way we're raising our children need to take another shape. It's no longer business as usual. Right? Look at the details on screen. Don't bother booking with 5,000. There's really no need, because we start on the 1st. Just pay your 70,000 naira, get money from wherever, pay and be there. All right? And be there. You will be grateful for it. That I'm sure. I don't need to preach it. I'm sure that you will be grateful for it. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It is My Intentional Parenting Journey. Remember that you can listen to other My Intentional Parenting Journey on the stream for this is episode what? 23. And we're going to be having episode 24 tomorrow. Who are we having tomorrow? All right, we're having Joy Emmanuel from the UK. Joy Emmanuel is going to be sharing her journey in the inner circle right in the UK. And she's going to be sharing with us what she's been able to do and how the inner circle has transformed her. We're leading a transformation. We're not joking. We're not here for fun fair. When it's time for fun fair, we'll catch fun fair wherever it is that we need to catch fun fair. But it is time for work, and we're here to work. All right? And if you're coming into the inner circle, yes, don't be scared. Don't worry. I'm the sweetest person on earth, even though I give you bad bows. Yes, I agree. But hey, it's either you love me or you love me. You don't have a choice. You got no choice. All right. Even when you hate me, you just look around and you say, "Oh, I just need her," and that's actually the most important thing. All right. Just even if you don't like me, close your eyes and say, "For the sake of my children, I just want to do this for my children. I'm ready for the baptism of fire." You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, and even more. I am looking forward to hosting. We currently have onboarded over 1,500, almost 2,000, parents as we speak. Almost 2,000 parents have been onboarded. And trust me, you want to be part of this journey. If you miss joining for the 1st of December this year, you wait for the 1st of December 2024. You would wait, because that's how the curriculum runs. The curriculum doesn't run. It's not somewhere you just walk in and just start from anywhere you are. Thank you so much. And I know that after the little bass boost this morning, you still love me. I'm still hoping so. But if you don't, it's okay not to love me. You don't need. I'm not teaching you to love me. I'm teaching you for you to become more. The more you become more, I'm okay. Just become more. I don't need any other thing. Don't even love me. Become more. Become more for the sake of you and your child. All right. Don't don't go for that. All right, loving me is an option. It's not compulsory. But becoming more for you and your children is compulsory. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I see you guys in seconds. I see you, Sharon. I see you, Mavis. I see you, Luz. I see you guys. I see you, Ini. I see you. Yes, all of you that are proclaiming love, like Ibiyemi said, when the mass boss comes, I hope you will not come to me and say, like Ibiyemi will do most of the times, Coach, I came here for my children. Why are you hitting me like this? Thank you, Mr. Chris. Thank you, Dr. Happiness. Thank you all, everybody. Thank you, Frimilai Away. I look forward to really working with parents. It is my superpower. I breed seeing parents do things, differently. That's what keeps me alive. All right. And trust me, that is, very, very key. Now, our love for you is growing self. Ruth Baba is a senior yada. Ruth Baba has been, in the yard. I've worked with Ruth Baba for years now. This will be her fourth year in the yard, and that is so amazing. Somebody said, I have now paid. Dear Yinka, see you in the inner circle. That would be really, really awesome to have you. All right. I am even loving you more. Sharon, Sharon, I'm even loving you more. Yeah, it's because when you come with some things, I just hit you from different parts. And, thank you, everybody. Remember, I am passionate about seeing that the world changes through the people that you're raising. I am extremely passionate. If you have to hate me for me to get to that, I will do that, really. And I'm really, really passionate for you to actually be able to achieve that. All right. Join me in the academy and you will never regret being in the academy. Do have an amazing day and see you tomorrow again, where we'll have Joy Emmanuel share with us and move with us. I see you, Magistrate Fifunwa. Thank you so much for the trust. In fact, there are some parents that are here. I don't even want to, talk about some of our transactions. Sometimes they call me. She calls me. She says, Coach, even though I am where I am, I know that you're the one that will tell me the truth. And I go all out to actually say, this is it. And yes, if you don't love me for that, then please just do what it is that I'm saying. Don't love. Leave me out of you. I have enough love already. For myself. All right. Thank you so much. Biodo Fatukasi say I'm in already. See you right in the inner circle. If you're not in, please cash in. Please remember the pre-order for my latest books. All right. All of the books are on Amazon today. Yes. So you can get an order, any of those books if you're outside of Nigeria. All right. The Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro will go live. Amazon had, sent their stuff for reviewing it. It's on review and it's going to go live before the day runs out. Thank you for your time. I honor you. I love you. I do not take your time and your presence here for granted. Every morning. That's awesome. Thank you and do have an amazing. And my sister is here. He said, I love you, my sister. That's my elder sister, Genevieve Obiero. Thank you so much. She's followed this journey from day one. She just said, this journey is just something. My mom was calling her the other day. She said, Mommy, please. I'm listening to Coach Wendy's journey. And, in the intentional prayer, don't call me. I'll call you later. I know my mom was telling me that this morning. See, what is the program that is going on? That morning one, what is it about? I've not been joining, and your sister has been the one telling me about it. Thank you, sis, for being here. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. You don't need to love me. I love you. All right. Thank you so much, and do have an amazing day.